How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to the Cosmic Ray channel. I am your host, Cosmic Ray. Today we're going to be doing story time with Cosmic Ray. And before I go ahead and get into it, just wanted to kind of share with you if you are new to my channel. I don't like to view myself on my channel unless there's something specific I need to show you that I have to have light in the room. Otherwise, for the most part, not just my story times are like this in dark. Most of my videos are kind of like this. I do have other videos if you do want to see what I look like, which is shouldn't be a big deal. But please go ahead and look at those. But for in this case, with story time with Cosmic Ray, I still like to kind of keep things somewhat a little dark. Let me just go ahead and get right into it. My first story, really quick, it was actually just a dream that I had, and I never had these kind of dreams before, and which was kind of weird for me. In this case, I dreamt that I was already dead, which is not something that usually happens in my dream, or at least in other dreams I know. I heard people like, almost dying, kind of thing, or because, if you're technically, if you die in your dream, supposedly you died in real life, at least for, Freddy rules or, or whatnot. However, for me, I had a dream where it doesn't make any sense. I know there's a lot of things are subconscious. When you have like if you think like say like an actor or something, or you saw a movie, or maybe listen to a song, and there's later like a couple days later you dreamt about like this person that was in the movie or this person that sings the song or what have you. That would totally make sense, right? This had made no sense because no offense to this artist, it was just one of those I wasn't thinking about them. First of all, I don't know how it happened, but I dreamt like I had this thing where for some reason like Eminem had like this place that he had, I guess, like an underground place where he had people that would do like either rap battles or just doing their own performance. And it wasn't a place that you would think he would own, because I would think if it was, it'd been really nice and very fancy, all done up. But this place wasn't at all. It was just a rinky-dink, type place where so you wouldn't think that you would have owned it. But he was there, and for some reason, my friends knew him, and which is weird. These are like friends from like high school, even elementary school. So obviously, this dream did not make any sense whatsoever, because I haven't seen these people like in a long time. So no idea, why I was even dreaming about him or even these people. However, in the dream, I felt like I was normal, like I was alive, talking to all these people. And but there were certain things that was about me that was, I guess, off to them, right? Like they would look at me kind of funny at certain times, like, how come you don't understand this? How can you understand that? And I guess it was kind of almost like where it meets like that movie Sixth Sense, like where Bruce Willis didn't know that he was dead, kind of thing. It was kind of like that in a sense. I was alive, or at least I felt I was alive, talking to people and whatnot. And then it went from that dream to like another kind of dream where the same thing was happening, where I was actually already dead. In this dream, I was dead, and multiple people that I knew were dead. We didn't know that we died. Everyone else like told us, and once we finally like got it, like things started to make sense, kind of like how in that movie was, right? And I haven't seen that movie in a long time either, by the way, probably since it was first out, so it's kind of weird. So anyways, in the dream, even my family members like knew I was dead, and it, man, that candle is tripping me out right now because I wasn't supposed to do candle love. Yep. So anyways, in this dream, that had happened, and I was like, well, what do you mean I'm dead? How am I dead when everyone's talking to me and you're talking to me? And apparently in the dream world, it was as if everyone, or there was more mediums that was on the planet, or anyone, or there was more people that are able to understand the concept of death for some reason. And myself, along with a good handful of people, we already died in this dream, and everyone knew that, and they couldn't say anything, like they weren't allowed to say anything until we got it, and then they're like, yes, they could confirm. And then it was weird, and then I end up knowing damn that candle, I end up knowing in the dream that I died. It was weird. When I woke up, I was all sweating and everything. I wouldn't technically count this as a night terror. I've had like something way crazy happen, but it did feel realistic at the time. I was trying to explain it to my wife, without trying to sound nuts. I knew it was a dream. It wasn't like I felt like it was a prophesized dream, or when I woke up, I'm like, oh no, this is the truth. But now if you guys ever seen any of my videos about candle love magic, I usually have the candles kind of confirm my truths to you. I feel like my higher self is here. However, I wasn't trying to do candle love, but now I'm like, oh man, this is starting to creep me out now because it's like confirming truths. Anyways, that was my dream. Okay, let me tell you another like story, and this is an actual story. Okay, so just in case, this is only important so that you guys are aware if you have not seen my other video about this. So I had what some people call a Kundalini awakening, or activated a dark night of the soul, spiritual awakening, third eye opening, and what I like to call a realization of enlightenment. And doing this and knowing that ever since I was at a young age, I was able to do what they call shamanic journeying. I would say probably at least at the age of 5 of what I've known. And I've been able to, once I've had this realization, I've been able to meditate further. Yep, that is confirming. I've been able to meditate further and to know some other stuff. That's why you may have seen my other story time with Cosmic Rays about when I was journeying through, what I call journeying through time, and able to, kind of view things as an observer. Same thing. So I was just like another journeying through time story. So one day, I was doing my meditation, deep meditation, right? And I kind of like confirmed something. Now, a long time ago, when I was a kid, I was living in Seattle, in like West Seattle, and I had one of these little, like, not a bike. It was kind of like it was like a pedal type of bike where like I sat down, and it reminded me like those old school dragster where it has like two big wheels in the back, and it wasn't like a normal tricycle or anything like that. And there was like a huge handlebar and like two long, bars that went down like further, holding the tire in front, and it reminded me like a dragster, like an old school dragster. And it was long. It wasn't like the normal like trike bikes kind of thing. Or those one of those plastic ones you kind of pedal with your feet. It was like really long. Anyways, the pedals weren't working, but I had some friends that kind of pushed me around. And as a youth, I wasn't allowed to really go anywhere like out of bounds, so to say. So at least in the back area, there was like this alleyway. Well, I was supposed to be hanging out in the front, but we ended up going in the back. So I was kind of pure pressure. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I can go. Well, as I get stuck, and my brother was trying to find me, he ended up finding me. He looked really pissed on one end of the hall. Yep. And then on the other side of the alleyway, if you will, I saw some guy. It wasn't that really big of a deal. Like some guy far away. It looked like he was dressed up, like maybe about to go to church or something. But he had like some weird hat, and then like he looked dressed up. So I think he had like a suit on or something. Anyways, so it was kind of weird. But my brother grabbed me, like picked me up. He had the bike in one hand and he put me on his shoulder, so he definitely is strong. And at that time, I'm sure maybe the thing wasn't as heavy, but as a kid, it was heavy to push. So it was weird. He picked me up and he started lifting me off. I'm like, okay, no big deal kind of thing. And I saw the guy and he's kind of like doing something from far away, but I didn't know. It wasn't that big of a deal. Like, fuck it, kind of thing. And I got in trouble for being out there, yada yada yada. Fast forward, obviously now, being 36 at the current age, and so as I'm doing my damn it, so as I'm doing my journeying and going through time, if you will, and being an observer, I can't change anything. Being an observer, I was, I saw everything that happened, but for some reason I was like kind of far away. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I wasn't close, like to see this, like really, like like literally in front, because no one can see me. So I'm like, I don't know why. But man, okay, so sorry, I'm like getting cold right now. So when I was this observer and just looking at what happened, realizing, oh, okay, and there's certain pieces that I couldn't fit together growing up, like what happened specifically, and why is this always important? Why is this stuck in my head? Why can't I get this out of my head? This is just what, childhood memory? What, like, what is this? This is done. Well, you may have already started to kind of figure this out. So when I was doing my journeying, I picture myself, kind of different. I didn't want to picture myself like how I normally would wear while I'm, was meditating, like in shorts, maybe no shirt kind of thing or whatever. No, I meditated, as myself, like kind of dressed up. Didn't understand, and I didn't understand why I was so far away from this whole perspective of watching myself being picked up from my brother from all the way to the side. And I realized, shit, that I was that guy. I was that guy that was far away, waving like this, because I didn't think anyone would be able to see me. Myself as a kid saw that. I thought that was just no fucking big deal. Sorry, no big deal of the memory. I don't know why that was important, but I know it was important. And yeah, I mean, that's all I can say. So I figured out what happened in my dream, or not my dream, well, I guess my journeying, if you will, what happened. And that is my story. Thank you, Cosmic Surfers out there. I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I love you. Namaste. Good night.